If you're an entrepreneur or business leader, it's not a question of whether you're on the path to success, but instead, what are you doing to champion growth for yourself, your team, and your business right now? Every successful business is guided by courageous leaders who want to make a positive and meaningful impact. At LXU, we call these leaders growth champions. Growth champions are willing to embrace the challenging path, and they have the courage to do what they know is right, to champion growth for themselves, their team, and the business. When I speak of growth champions, I want you to know that they exist at all levels within an organization. In fact, it's really easy to spot a growth champion. They are the ones who are constantly making what we refer to as the shift. See, growth champions evolve through a series of many internal shifts, and there are 6 important shifts that growth champions make. I talked about the first 2 shifts in my last video. If you missed it, I encourage you to go visit my YouTube channel and watch the first one. It's called Making the Shift Part 1. I also encourage you to subscribe to my channel because this is part 2 of a 3-part series I'm doing on making the shift and having an even greater impact than you are today. Right now, I'm going to discuss the 3rd and 4th shift. I will unpack the growth champion shift that occurs as you evolve from being a seeker to being a translator, and then from being a translator to being a new thinker. Let's first discuss being a translator. Translators are important and they're needed because the number one challenge every business faces is communication. See, a translator is responsible for communicating the strategies, tactics, and priorities in a way that others can understand. Translators have the presence to engage various different styles that connect with others in order to share valuable insight. Translators are effective communicators. They're also good listeners, and they collect valuable feedback. They actually listen not to just the content of what is being said, but to the meaning behind it. The challenge that all translators face is altering the form of what they translate without changing the meaning. See, the meaning matters most. Their delivery must be tailored to their audience so the meaning is retained. See, this presents a growth opportunity for translators. My advice I give translators is this: don't just communicate a message. Ensure everyone understands the message. To do this effectively, translators must ask, what would build greater confidence in the message? What form would ensure the meaning is understood? And also, what resistance, obstacles, and objections can we anticipate? When translating any message, recognize this: some are quick to embrace something new. Others are non-believers and will initially resist because they doubt what you're saying is even possible. And there are those who what I call the waiters. They are waiting for someone or something to happen first before they get on board. Translators must work on developing their leadership presence. They must learn how to read their audience and then share stories others can relate to. See, relatable stories are helpful in driving the adoption of a specific message. Translators are tasked with building confidence in the message while overcoming resistance, obstacles, and objections, and stories are a good way to deal with that. This requires courage. See, courage is the mark of leadership. It's doing the right thing when it's easier to do what is comfortable. A translator is brave enough to say what needs to be said, even when it's unpopular. See, as humans, our natural tendency is to pick the path of least resistance. The fear of upsetting others holds many of us back. A translator doesn't grow by the absence of fear, but instead by finding the strength to move ahead in the presence of fear. The next shift growth champions make is to grow from being a translator to becoming a new thinker. Every business needs new thinkers. The new thinker has the ability to see beyond the immediate challenge and envision something better. They have a growth mindset and a willingness to embrace the unknown, even when the unknown is scary and uncomfortable. A new thinker looks for creative ways to enhance productivity, drive efficiency, and explore opportunities that scale their team and the business. The challenge for all new thinkers is that wishing that others are different. It's easy to get bent out of shape when someone doesn't think or operate the way you do. This presents a growth opportunity for translators. The advice I give new thinkers is this: fall in love with the problem. Ask yourself, what can the problem teach me? Right? Don't obsess over what is holding you and your team back. Instead, ask, how much better can things become? Remember what you learned when we talked about becoming a seeker. It's not a question of how you're going to solve something, but instead, who can help you co-create something better? The process of navigating difficult situations provides valuable insight, experience, and sets the stage for what I refer to as those breakthrough moments. Every new thinker needs allies internally and externally in the organization. Why? Because it's important for them to drive adoption of their ideas. So you got to invest the time to build those relationships, right? With the people who have the capability to support you, right? And to support the things that are going to fuel improvement. As new thinkers evolve and grow, clarity is going to become increasingly more important. Clarity is a skill all new thinkers must develop, one that is far more advanced than what we learned as a translator. See, the ability for a new thinker to articulate fresh ideas to others in a clear and concise way is reassuring and contagious. Clarity gives others confidence in your ideas and makes it easier for them to adopt new ways of thinking themselves. Growth champions exist at all levels of any organization and in different forms. So far, we have discussed growth champions who are volunteers, seekers, translators, and new thinkers. In the following session, I'm going to unpack the next two shifts growth champions make as they evolve from being a new thinker to an innovator, and then again from being an innovator to a transformer. I encourage you to subscribe so you don't miss part 3. And of course, go back and watch part 1 if you missed it. You can visit my YouTube channel or my podcast channel and search for Making the Shift. As I mentioned earlier, being a growth champion is a choice. If this resonates with you, I want to buy you a copy of my book, Freedom to Experiment: How to Ignite a New Level of Energy, Focus, and Momentum in Yourself and Your Team. This book is actually dedicated to all the growth champions I work with. Follow the link in the description if you're interested, and I'll personally sign a copy for you. Okay, if you like what I shared today, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share a comment related to your business, and of course subscribe, because each week I'm sharing content to help you and your team embrace change, focus your efforts, and accelerate results. Remember this, you're just one idea away. We'll talk to you soon.